In this lecture, we are going to talk about deflections of a beam due to bidirectional bending. So, the black color line shows the position of the cross section before bending, and CI is the position of the centroid before deflection due to bending. So, let me write it down. So, CI is the position of the centroid of the cross section before deflection due to bending or before bending. Okay, and CF is the position of the centroid after bending. Okay, now we assume, so the green color line shows the neutral axis of the cross section, and the neutral axis makes an angle alpha with the x-axis. We know how to find out alpha in presence of the applied moment mx and my. Now, zeta is the perpendicular distance from the neutral axis by which the centroid has moved from CI to CF. So let me put it in other words. So the centroid has moved by a distance z in the perpendicular direction of the neutral axis after deflection. Okay, so z is the perpendicular. So let me write it in this way. Okay, right? So CI has moved by a distance g in the perpendicular direction to the neutral axis, and it has gone to the new position CF. Now, from Euler-Bernoulli beam theory that you have done earlier, we know that radius of curvature, 1 by radius of curvature, is equal to d2w by dz square, where w is the beam deflection and z is the lengthwise coordinate axis of the beam, right? So since bidirectional bending is also governed by Euler-Bernoulli beam theory, or we are considering Euler-Bernoulli beam theory for bidirectional bending, I can write the same expression in this case also, where I say 1 by r is equal to d2 z by dz square. Okay, where r is the radius of curvature. Okay, so in case of unidirectional bending, w was the total deflection. So here, so you can also imagine bidirectional bending in a way that it is kind of unidirectional bending about the neutral axis plane. Okay, so about the neutral axis plane, therefore the deflection of the beam is z. Okay, so I can write 1 by r is equal to d2z by dz square. So if I can write this from geometry, I can see that u that is the deflection in x direction, can be written as minus z into, so this is alpha again. So if this is alpha, this is z into sine alpha, minus because it is in the opposite direction, and v, the deflection in y direction, is minus z into cos alpha, right? So now what I do is that I take the, so let me call this as equation 1 and I call this as equation 2. So then I take the derivative of equation 2, second derivative of equation 2 in terms of z. So I can write d2u by dz square is going to be minus d2z by dz square into sine alpha, right? And similarly I can say that d2v by dz square is going to be minus d2z by dz square into cos alpha. Okay, now I know that d2z by dz square is 1 by r. So this can be written as minus sine alpha by r, and this can be written as minus cos alpha by r. Okay, so if I have got this two expression, I can write this in matrix form. So but before doing that, let me let me go back to the theory that we have done for finding out the stress under bidirectional bending. So let me clear this canvas first. So for bidirectional bending, in my previous lecture we have seen that 1 by r or E by r sine alpha cos alpha could be written as 1 by Ixx So this we have derived earlier. Okay, so I can in fact replace this E here and make this as 1 by r, and I can bring the E here. Okay, so I can even put a minus sign here and make this minus. Okay, now I have seen from the previous expression that from equation 2 we know that minus 1 by r sine alpha cos alpha can actually be written as d2u dz square and d2v dz square. Okay, so that was 2 in matrix form. Okay, now if I plug this into equation 2, what do I get? I get d2u dz square and d2v dz square is going to be equal to minus 1 by E So let me call this as equation 4. Okay, therefore I get a relation between d2u by dz square and d2v by dz square in terms of the applied moment mx and my and the sectional property. Now I can inverse this equation, matrix equation, and I can say, if I just take the inverse of this, I'm going to get mx my as minus e ixy ixx iyy and ixy into u double dash and v double dash. Okay, so let me call this as equation 5. So equation 5 is of much simpler form, and it also relates your mx and my with d2u dz square and d2v dz square. Okay, therefore this expression can be written as mx. If I remove the matrix form, then I can write mx is going to be minus e ixy u double dash minus e ixx v double dash, and my is going to be minus e iyy u double dash and minus e ixy v double dash. So this is equation 6. So equation 6 therefore gives us the relation between the deflections in x and y direction u and v to the applied moment mx and mv and the sectional property. So if we know the applied moment and the sectional property, we can find out the beam deflections u and v. Okay, so with this we come to the end of the theory on bidirectional bending of beams in general, and also thin wall beams, thin wall cross section beams. So in the next lecture we will solve an example problem to show how to find out the deflections of a beam from the applied bidirectional moment. So thank you.